This is Lindsay Says, because somebody has to say it. I never thought I would say that. Welcome back, besties, to Lindsay Says. This is the 10th episode, you guys, other than the intro, and I am excited. So let's celebrate number 10. And it's also my husband's 37th birthday today. He's going to be pissed that I said that number, but I don't even think that that's an old number. Like, if you really compare that to like how old we're going to be, like 37 is like a child. So he's going to be fine. But he will be on the show later today. And Mercury in retrograde, you guys, I don't know if any of you know what it is. I'm sure you've heard of it. I fully believe in it because whenever Mercury is in retrograde, including right now, technology is just wanky. And I feel like the past two podcasts have been like that. And both podcasts were in Mercury in retrograde. Like Torre got kicked out of TikTok the other day for impersonating somebody when he doesn't even use TikTok unless he's looking at my account. Mercury in retrograde is insane. But I love all of that stuff. I love the manifesting stuff other than like Amanda Francis's version of manifesting. I truly believe in positive energy and like being kind to people and like angel numbers and tarot card stuff. So the other day I was on my way to Solid Core. By the way, highly recommend. One day I want to make a podcast. The beginning intro is going to be about my workouts and eating routines and everything like that. But I let somebody in the street from the gas station when nobody else was letting her in. Let her in. She rolled down her window and waved because her windows were blacked out. Her license plate said 44 Angel. If that's not a sign, and it said something like you're on the right path, like trust your gut, like I so believe in this stuff. Even if it's not true, it's still just positive thinking. And I feel like positive thinking does a lot more than negative thinking. But I'm all about paying attention to people who, I don't know, you just don't, once you're a mom and really anybody, you don't have that much time in a day with your work and laundry and all these things. And you put an energy with all these people. And you know what? I pick up on when people aren't so happy for you. And I just think everyone needs to pay attention to the people who like change the subject when you bring up something good, or like you can tell by their vibe that they're just like not that happy for you and they don't want to hear about like your good news anymore. And I just think that everyone needs to pay attention to that and like, I don't know, follow Micah on Ladies of London, how she just got a vibe from Dara and it was over. And I think that we all need to do stuff like that. Or just don't even get messy about it. Just like listen and move forward. Follow the vibes. But along with that, I don't know, I'm a fashionista. I've always been a fashionista ever since like I was in sports. Every paper plate award, did you guys ever get those? I was a pretty good athlete, okay? I was pretty good. And every single time, my same paper plate for every single team was fashionista. And I'm not going to be offended by that, but can you at least like compliment my abilities? But that's how much of a fashionista I am. And in the Midwest, people don't really dress up like they do in like LA or New York or things like that. But I've always had like the same style as them. And I've always kind of dressed down, as I'm wearing a sweatshirt right now, to kind of fit in and not look like I'm trying to get attention or something. But I have all these clothes that I buy that I love and I don't wear because I didn't want people to think that I was trying to get attention. Like, for example, like a fur jacket. Okay. Some people don't wear that. They'll wear like a regular jacket. I've decided I'm going to wear whatever the heck I want because that's what I want to wear. And that's my sign to you to just do. There's a rug in here and I thought it was a person. But that's my sign to you to just do whatever you want to do, wear whatever you want to wear, and just have the confidence to do so and just be you and not worry about what other people think. But somebody on a post recently said they're new to Bravo and they wanted to know if I had an order of what shows to watch. And I made one a very long time ago and I probably have a different opinion now. So I wanted to just say that on here. But what I always recommend right now is to start at Salt Lake City, okay? Start at Salt Lake City. They don't miss. It's a shorter series. Then go to Orange County because you're hooked, and then you'll start at the beginning. Go to Orange County where it all began. Okay, you have to know where it all began. Then Roni, because Roni is one of the best. Okay, then Beverly Hills. From Beverly Hills straight into Vanderpump Rules. From Vanderpump Rules straight into Summer House, because literally Beverly Hills leads into Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules leads into Summer House. And then, but if you're not enjoying Summer House at season 1, just skedaddle on to season 3. And then go back to the beginning once you finish, because you need to know where it all began. Then Southern Charm, because you need to know all the Craig stuff. You need to know all the Craig stuff. And I would say you could go from Southern Charm to Southern Hospitality, but you could also just wait, because like that makes sense, but I feel like you want to see other housewives first. So I would say Real Housewives of Potomac, then Real Housewives of Miami, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Real Housewives of Atlanta, then Dubai, and Southern Hospitality in Dallas. But I feel like that's how you get hooked, and a good order. No matter what, you're going to be a little bit out of order when it comes to all of the Summer House, Winter House, Southern Charm stuff. But I realized I never told this story about BravoCon. So I went with my husband, and all of the men's rooms were like both gender, like non-binary bathrooms. And then the women's room was the women's room. And the women's room always had a line, okay? Because it's an event full of women and gay men, essentially. And so my husband was going to the bathroom at one point, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go in there because this line is so long. Why am I gonna wait when this one is, both genders? So I went in there, and I just felt so weird. It's so funny how you feel like you're doing something illegal going in the men's room when you're totally okay to do so. So I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I kept walking, and then I was like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this. And as I stopped, you guys, this, I believe it was a man in the bathroom, let loose. And I'm not kidding. I ran out of the bathroom, and my husband was dying laughing. But I don't know why that came to me the other day. But don't go in there if you ever go back to BravoCon, because it is a men's room, even though it says it's not. But I was thinking about Summer House the other day, and how I miss Paige, and like everyone misses Paige because she would let Kyle have it and let all these people have it, like West and Jesse and all that. And yeah, that is a big loss. But I would love to see on our screens the new Amanda with Paige, because Amanda is a different person. She's not sad right now. She is her most authentic and like happy self that we've ever seen. And I think we're going to get even better than that, because even at this point, she's still fighting with with Kyle. I want to see Amanda and Paige right now together, thriving after their splits and what they're like now. And I really, really, really hope that In the City just becomes a girl show. I think it'll be interesting seeing the end of Kyle and Amanda, because I think that's basically what In the City is going to be. But I think that's about it. But when Kyle was on Watch What Happens Live, they asked him if he's still going to do In the City, even though he's split with Amanda, and he said that he will. But I think we should be done. Personally, make it a girl show. Bring Paige. So let's see Amanda and Hannah reconcile on camera. I also had a theory about the after show. So we don't have a Summer House after show. As last season we had it, it got cut short in the middle of the season. And I was wondering, why the heck don't we have one again this season? And somebody in my DMs said that they heard, this person has a check mark and like is followed by some of the Summer House people. But she said that they, or he, I have no idea. They said that they heard from the cast that they will not be having another after show. And I strongly believe, could be reaching, that they don't have an after show because the after show is to show stuff, like kind of like the reunion. And they don't want to give away, just theory, that Ciara and West are together. They want to save it for the reunion, and we're going to get a bomb at the reunion that West and Ciara are together. And if I'm wrong, I swear. I also was thinking the other day other show, other Kyle. Kyle Richards. She was my favorite when I was younger. And I know that I've gotten older and, I've changed. So maybe that's why my opinion of Kyle has changed. But I also think that she's changed. And when she was my favorite, it was like when she stopped, it was like she was my favorite until she stopped doing the splits. If I could ask her any question, it would be, can you still do the splits? Where did that go? It's like she stopped drinking. Okay, I'm all for that. You don't need to drink. I don't care if you drink or not. But where did your personality go? It just seems like she's just not happy anymore and just become a mean girl. She used to be fun and whipping her ponytail around and doing the splits all the time. Where is the fun? Like when I'm pregnant, I still feel like a fun person. I'm not pregnant, by the way, but that's when I'm not drinking like at all. I still feel like myself. I don't change that much when I have a glass of wine. Why is she so different? And I know that she's gone through stuff with Mauricio too, but it's been years. Where's the splits? On to Say Less, Spill More. All of the recent Bravo gossip. Say less, spill more. In Roni news, Leah McSweeney and her case against Andy Cohen and Bravo continues. And Andy and Bravo wanted this to be a private hearing, and they apparently lost that battle. The judge apparently said that they were too late and it's going to be a public case, which is interesting. But the whole case is about, she claims that production was pushing drinking on her because she's sober, and that they were saying that drinking would be more entertaining. And I was just talking about Kyle Richards. Okay, like that she was different back then. And I'm not saying that she needs to start drinking. That's not the same thing. And nobody in production has ever told Kyle to keep drinking. So I feel like that is just like a perfect example that probably didn't happen, but who knows? Who knows? We're not in her shoes. But she thinks that her mental health and alcohol use was exploited because that was a long time ago, but I believe that she just started drinking and she shouldn't have, and she was like messing with Sonia and Ramona and stuff. But she claims that they were attempting to get her off the wagon for better ratings. I guess we'll see how it all goes. In Summer House news, Kyle Cook keeps endlessly posting pictures with Amanda Batula. And some of the majority of the stuff is from this season. So this most recent episode was Amanda's birthday, and he's just posting like them together, and it all makes sense. But it's like, it's so sad because then at the same time he's on Watch What Happens Live, and they're asking him rumors about Ava from Next Gen NYC, and he's saying he's not dating her. They have not hooked up, things like that. But the rumors about Ava, they were all out to dinner, all of the Summer House boys, and they were playing a game and they were holding hands. I cannot believe that that is something that was sent to Demois. They're in a circle. I just feel like this is clickbait and unnecessary to like talk about. Let us know if something actually happens. But it is interesting that all of the Summer House guys are in her comments, and Wes was in her story. But that doesn't mean anything. But Kyle is 43 and Ava is 26. So I hope that's not a thing. Then Kyle addressed the West and Amanda rumors on Watch What Happens Live, and it was really weird because he didn't immediately say like, yeah, that didn't happen. And you all know my theory is that West and Ciara are together, and he was saying that if anybody would be really mad, it would be Ciara, that she would have to speak to Ciara about it. But like, I feel like he would be mad too because West is his friend. But like, he was mostly just thinking it was outrageous because the rumors went on as long as they did. And I think maybe he's annoyed that neither one of them like smashed the rumors. But like, it's just, that was the dumbest rumor ever. It's obviously not real. That group of people is just very touchy. That doesn't mean anything. And then he was asked if he would be upset if it was true. And he basically like gave it a thumbs up if it made Amanda happy, which I guess is like a good thing. But I don't know how you could be fine with that. It's just not a thing, okay? It's just not a thing. But also, Demois posted that somebody messaged them that he was spotted with like a hot blonde the night before he was with Ava, and I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that that was also nothing. Maybe it was Bailey. However, it will be interesting when something actually happens. It will be very weird to see one of them dating somebody else and seeing the reaction and like possibly on a show. But Jesse Solomon is going on tour and he's going to be in Ferndale, Michigan near me on May 20th, which happens to be my mom's birthday. And I happen to be going to Charleston the next day, but we'll see if I want to go to that or not. We'll see. And then somebody on TikTok made a post that they met Jesse somewhere at like a meet and greet, and he said, "What's your name?" And she said, "Shannon." And he said, "Oh, that's Lexi's sister's name." What a weird reaction to have that like on top of mind right now. When you were just like all about Ciara, like, are you missing Lexi now? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills news. Rachel Zoe announced, or it was in an article, that the first person that she reached out to when her and Roger were splitting was Jennifer Gardner. And they've apparently been friends since 2003 Emmys because she dressed her, which I find this to be so cute. But she wanted to get a good lawyer, and Jennifer kept this secret to herself. And she said that she got a weird response from Jennifer and Jennifer said, "You must be so exhausted." And Rachel said that it was an odd response, but yes, that she was. But yeah, she got the same lawyer that Jennifer used in the split with Ben. Apparently, Britney Spears, Kim K, Johnny Depp have all use this lawyer as well. And Rachel Zoe news, she had her house burglarized, or there was a burglar at her home. We don't know if anything was stolen still. But she posted that she was going to Vegas, as did Kathy and Sutton when they were at BravoCon, and their houses were robbed. And it's just becoming so weird. Is there a Bravoholic burglar out there? Are you watching this? It scares me. I got a message that they're always at Win events when they're being robbed. And I really hope that nothing got stolen from Rachel's house because she needs to just put herself in like a storage place and lock that up. I think that's what Jennifer Tilly does. And maybe the Bravoholic knows that, and that's why her home hasn't been robbed. Don't rob me. And Dorit news, her home might be foreclosed. This is scary. So her home was $6.5 million, and PK bought it with her. There's a huge debt. And PK stopped paying for things, as we saw on the show. But there's 6 bathrooms, 7 baths. They bought it in August 2019. It had lenders with money of $600,000 and $150,000. And so they have not made a payment since September 2025. That's a long time. That's 6 months. And they owe the 600, 150 plus $842,000 plus extra. Insane. I'm not a math whiz. I'm not a lawyer, but this doesn't sound good on top of her spending on housewives. Real Housewives of Miami, lots of rumors going around about the casting and when they're going to be filming. There's rumor that they're going to be filming next month. They just haven't finalized the cast. So they're not going anywhere. It just might be different because I think Bravo is confused about where to go with Alexia because of Todd suing them, and then he canceled suing them with prejudice. So I think that means that he can't do it again. And I want a camera on them as a couple. I want to know and understand what Alexia sees in this man because she is such a good mom to Frankie, and he hurt Frankie emotionally. And I want to understand why she went back with this man who treated her like garbage and her son and the network. But she could be on the chopping block. Stephanie might not come back, which I'm disappointed. I really think that we would like her in a second season. I think she just bombed season 1. Gertie and Julia are also possibly on the chopping block. And I do think it's time for Gertie. I really like her as a person. I just don't know that she is good on like meant to be in this group of women. I think she's too nice. I think she's too normal, if you get what I'm saying. And then I strongly believe that the friend ofs should just be brought in on full time. Maybe bring Dr. Nicole back, maybe make her a friend of. And I heard that there's somebody on the chopping block that we wouldn't expect, and for some reason, I believe that could be Larsa, because Larsa didn't bring a whole lot last season. She just was mad at Lisa Hochstein, like, that was her storyline, was Lisa Hochstein. But I wanna know what's going on with Lisa, speaking of her, and we know that her and Jody split because he announced it in the comment section on Instagram, but we've never heard what Lisa had to say about it. In Real Housewives of Potomac news, Candace Dillard Bassett complains about being fined for saying things. Not 1 ounce of me is shocked by this. That's why I didn't like Candace when she was on the show, because she just she goes too far with what she says. She does. And she got fined by Bravo for saying things. I believe it was things that she was tweeting. And somebody messaged me and said that she's sick of people in Bravo complaining for getting fined for things. And it's like, this person's probably right that maybe they're just not reading the fine print of like their contracts. Maybe read before you speak. Think before you speak. And don't complain about being fined if that's literally written in the contract. I don't know. But she was fined like $30,000. And I wanted her to come back, but if she's being like this, maybe not. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't even like talking about this topic as like news, but I will just say that the funeral for Robert Jr. is not going to be filmed, and I am thankful for that. I think that is the right decision. It was reported that the entire cast was there. I do not know if Monica Garcia was there, and I do not know if Jen Shaw was there, but the rest of the cast was there. Kyle Richards went, Cynthia Bailey went, and Sheree Whitfield. And people are very upset with Andy Cohen that he didn't go. And he had prior commitments, he says, with his children, and children come first. And he had the filming for the Southern Charm reunion that weekend. And some people were pissed because he was out with Shep, Austen, and Craig. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But I truly believe that he didn't move things around because of his children. And if he was home anyways, then he didn't have to move the Southern Charm reunion. And if he's home, why can't he do something if he's home anyways and he had to be home because of a prior commitment? However, I definitely understand wanting him there to support Mary because she needs the support. And word on the street is that Robert Sr. spoke at the funeral. And even though I don't want to see the funeral on television, I don't think it's like necessary. And I just would feel very uncomfortable for the family. And I don't know that that's what Robert Jr. would want. But I would have loved to hear Robert Sr.'s speech. The Valley News. Jax and Brittany have come to a custody agreement. If you want all of the details, I made a post about this a few days ago, but he will get to see Cruz every other weekend and every Wednesday. And they have an agreement that whenever one of them has the child, the person with the child is not allowed to do drugs or alcohol. Oh my gosh. And then they have to wait 6 months to meet a new significant other. And I think that's very, very important, really, for Jax, but both of them, because Brittany had a new boyfriend pretty quickly, and then it ended pretty quickly. And I just think that these rules in place are necessary for Cruz, for any child, but especially a child that is on the spectrum. I just really feel for him. And even though I think Jax is a horrible father, he wants to be in his life, and that is at least one plus, that he wants to be in Cruz's life. And I just hope that he can be a good man for that little boy and follow these rules. Makes me sick. And many people believe that this season is going to suck without him, which is so crazy. It's just wild to me. I'll get into like more of what I'm thinking right now with like people will like pretend that there's no more like Team Jax or no more Team Craig, and then all of a sudden they come out. It's like they wait a little while underground and they come out, and like people are saying that they're upset that Jax is gone, and it's like, what are you talking about? Do you just forget what he did to Brittany? I don't understand. And like the toxicity of the show. But people think that he's going to come back. And I wouldn't doubt it because boy, has he been quiet. He moved out of that condo next to Schwartz. It seems like he's trying to behave. And I wouldn't be shocked if he behaves and gets brought back. But I also wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't behave and doesn't get brought back. I think that the way that he would snap and get triggered is when the valley starts to air. Like that will be very telling how he behaves on social media and just like in the wild. Southern hospitality news. Grace Lilly arrested once again, the second time in 3 months. This is not good. It scares me. It really scares me after all the Robert Jr. stuff. I just want her to be careful. I hope that she has a support system. I don't like this at all. I worry for her more than like I don't think that people necessarily need to judge this type of thing. I think that they're going straight to judgment. I just worry. I really do. Maybe she needs to take time off the television, off of this show and just get some help. But the last time that she was arrested, it was mystery pills that she had in a container and she was driving and she claimed that one of them was birth control and they were looking into it and then we never got any further information. And then this time it was possession of a controlled substance. So it seems that they knew exactly what it was, and I don't know what that means about what the substance is, but she was apparently already released from custody. I worry. I hope she has a good friend or a good parent or good sibling that can help her. I really worry. Southern Charm news. As I said, I was going to get to this topic. Shep, Craig, and Austen went out with Andy Cohen and John Mayer recently. They were obviously in town for their time on Watch What Happens Live and filming for the reunion. And basically, Andy just wanted his best friend, John Mayer, to meet them. And he never watched the show. And he basically said that they were chaotic and he doesn't understand their rhythm. And that they're just like insane, basically, which we already knew. But they also got to meet Julia Roberts and Diane Sawyer. And then they went out again after dinner. They like ran into each other at a bar near Andy's house, which I need to figure out what this bar is and go. I need to go. But they like debriefed on the evening and like, I guess they were in like rare form. And like anybody that thinks, by the way, I made a post about this if you want every single detail. But anybody that thinks this show is freaking scripted, this is who they are. This is who they are. All right, it's time for the Bravoholic Breakdown. All of my hot takes on the episodes this week. Let's start with Summer House. I want to play devil's advocate for a second. I am Team Carl. Okay, let me start with that. I am Team Carl when it comes to giving money to soft bar versus Loverboy, all this stuff. But if you look back, I'm wondering if this is where Kyle's head's at. He had Carl be his officiant, and I believe also best man at the same time, whatever it was. He had an important role in his wedding with Amanda. And when Carl almost married Lindsay, Lindsay and Kyle were having an issue, and Carl chose to have Kyle be one of his flower boys with Andrea and Luke. And I'm wondering if him not want, and I could be totally reaching, I don't know why this came to my mind, but I think they have some like deep rooted issues underneath that maybe they're not discussing. But maybe this is like, well, I had you be my best man officiant and you had me be your flower boy if you ended up getting married. So you gave me money and so I'm not going to give you money. Like maybe it's that, like maybe it's like that freaking petty. I don't know. Something to think about. Also that Kyle has fired Carl, but he probably deserved it because he was apparently partaking. But it was also interesting that Jesse was sticking up for Carl and saying that Carl was upset that he's a little bit, more sensitive and it's more about the meaning than the money. And I am all for Amanda having a Cartier watch from Kyle. I want her to have 15 Cartier watches from Kyle. I think she deserves a house from Kyle. I think she deserves all these things, but take that aside. The way that he is speaking about not having money to this group, and then in front of them is giving Amanda a gift that is pricey. I'm happy it is for Amanda. But it just looks a bit odd from his standpoint. And Amanda was just saying how cheap he is and that she can't believe that he bought that for her. I think he needs to just send the money over to Carl. It is so windy outside right now. I'm sorry if you can hear it. Like the trees are like blowing like crazy. But I don't know. I just think that Kyle needs to put friends and people in his life, maybe his wife, before money, before business. I think that's where he messes up in general. But I used to think that the fight between Carl and Kyle later in the season that we see in the previews was about Amanda. And I'm starting to think like there's some deep rooted issues here with business and Flower Boy and all of that. Maybe that's what the fight is about. But it's also just like so rude that at Carl's soft bar, one of the only places that carries Loverboy, non-alcoholic Loverboy, is soft bar. He's still supporting his friend, even though his friend isn't supporting him. It pisses me off. Also, going back to the Cartier watch, just thought it would be interesting to mention that Mary Cosby herself said that that's for old people. I had to pull that one out. But Kyle said that he struggles giving gifts, like it gives him like an anxiety, like maybe that he didn't pick the right thing, but I think it's actually like the money. But Amanda was even saying that him buying that gift for her was for him because he did it in front of the group. Just like the apology to Amanda that he needed to give her in private, he does it in front of the group because he wants to get group recognition. And he was having like a standing ovation for buying his wife a freaking birthday present. And honestly, probably the price of that watch is like what he should have bought her over the past 10 years into one gift. So she deserves more than that, to be honest with you. But it was cute seeing Amanda call her mom and cute seeing Amanda and Ciara hug it out on her birthday. And it just, I love seeing how close they are this season because usually it's like the three of them. And I like to see Amanda and Ciara alone a little bit to see their friendship because their friendship is really strong too. It was also very interesting that Amanda didn't realize that Carl didn't invest. And I feel like that's something that you would know as a couple. Maybe they have like 100% split accounts and stuff like that because they were ending up saying that even though they didn't have a prenup, that it was like easy to split things. I don't know. I found that to be interesting. But on to Ciara, very cringe watching the end of her and Jesse together and then how West was like immediately like, I'm in love with Ciara again. The timing is rough. The timing is rough. If I were Ciara, I would be like, what is happening here? And it's very possible that West has always had these feelings for her. And he just thought that he could like, wait it out, see what happens, and then realize like, oh, people want her. And it's like right in his face. And so maybe it made him snap and like be like, you know what? I want to give this a shot again. Or he's just like a highly competitive dude. And that's not okay with me. Because Ciara is not like, she's a prize, but she's not a prize like that. Okay. She deserves to be courted. And it's so interesting. I made a post about this, but she was complaining that Jesse didn't talk to her like sober and ask her on a date. Okay. But then West wants to talk to her sober. And she's like pissed because she doesn't want to be like vulnerable with him. And she wants to be drinking when they have their conversation so she can be more comfortable. And it's interesting how they have completely swapped roles. That he has made her that uncomfortable. He has hurt her that bad that she doesn't want to be herself anymore. And she essentially said that to Ben when they were talking at the winery. And speaking of Ben, Bailey absolutely loses it. I did not see this side of her coming. I really still like her and I want to give her some grace. Like she's gone through a lot, it seems, with like an ex and stuff like that. But it seems like she needs to put in some work and not, project her issues onto other people. I think she really likes Ben, and she just got so triggered the second that he gave a compliment to Amanda that she wants for herself, and I do think that she's picking up on chemistry just like we all are. And people in my comments and people on social media are saying, if Paige said that or if one of the guys said what she said, um, nobody would have been as mad. You guys, I think no matter who said that, they would be mad. It's inappropriate to say about a married couple, especially a married couple that is so clearly not doing well. That's the last thing that they need. Like nobody would say that right now. Maybe like in a on the side, not in front of the entire group during a moment when they're all giving Amanda a compliment. That was so weird. And even though Levi, I'm going to give it to her, she was being a very good friend staying in with Bailey. But if you want, like, part of it is like you want to make a spot on the show and like be genuine, be yourself, like do what you would do in real life. But at the same time, like she probably doesn't understand like the editing and that they're kind of editing her out. But like it is her first season, but you got to think like, how can I make a spot on this show so I am not just a sidekick? Do you get what I'm saying? I feel like we don't really know her and we only know Bailey. However, Brownie points she is a very good friend staying in with her at the same exact time and listening to Bailey's crash out. And like, it was just a spiral out of nowhere. Ben spoke to her very kindly. It was a confrontation. And you know what? I don't love confrontation, especially with a male, but I think he was being pretty respectful and saying what he was thinking. And there was more to it. As much as she was saying there's not more, because he kept saying, what is there more to this? The thing that's more to this is that she has a crush on him and she is projecting. And he is reading into it because he is worried that he's coming off bad on camera probably, and that he wants to be a good friend to Kyle because that's his closest friend in the house and he doesn't want to become like a villain on the show probably. And he probably does have feelings for Amanda on some level and wanted to make sure that it didn't look like that. That's my theory. I also just have to mention how West and Jesse, like guys can just like brush things off and they can act like nothing ever happened between them. Like they were just hating each other last week about Ciara and now they're good. And like they wake up in the morning and West is obviously really happy because he's just madly in love right now. But he woke up and was giving Jesse kisses on his face and saying, you're a good boy. Like hilarious. And West is just like a puppy dog, sitting on people that he likes and giving people good morning kisses. On to Vanderpump Rules, the end of the season. I'm honestly glad it's over because I think that I'm going to like the show better next season. I think that it was a bit of a shock this year, this season, getting to know these new people. I do think there is some potential there, and I just think that we need to realize that it, even though it's called the same show and they have the exact same song, the exact same restaurant, that they are different people. And so I want to give it a better shot next season. But I think the people that are going to make this show work are Shane. Like I really do like him. And I think that Lisa really likes him too. I think Natalie is great television. Audrey is great television. Those cousins, I mean, bring a whole new like mix to Bravo, even though I don't really care for them. And Angelica, I think that's her name. But Marcus and Kim are a bit cringe. Oh, and I really like Venus. I saw on social media the other day that he was hanging out with Michael. God, what is his name? The manager at Southern Hospitality. I think that the show is going to work. It just is going to take me another season. And I think that's why Bravo is giving them another round, because it just maybe takes a second for us to like fall in love with them and have somebody that we're rooting for and all these things. But I really do think Lisa likes them, especially Shane. And she seemed so excited about Natalie like singing. She never got excited about Sheena singing like that. There's just a new vibe. Also, at the end of the reunion, you know how in the first episode there was that guy with the mustache? At the end of the reunion, there was a guy with the mustache. And my husband, as usual, fell asleep during Vanderpump Rules. And then he woke up and he's like, who is that guy back there? And I'm like, he was in the first episode. Okay. Ladies of London, so many different dynamics. We're getting to know them better. I love all of them. I love watching all of them. And after this episode, I'm very glad that Dara is gone because I just think that she would have ruined the show. I think everybody else is fun to watch. Like Kimmy was being, borderline rude about everyone's traumas that they were speaking about at the table that Missy threw the winery tour event. And I can tell that she just wants to get close with everyone and she's just trying to figure out like how do we become fast friends because we're on a show together. Like some of them are friends for like 20 plus years, but they're still blending friend groups. And so she was sharing something super super traumatic for her and like really hard about her brother. And Kimmy was like, "Gosh, Debbie Downer," like, and basically calling Missy's family trash for and like crooks. Missy wants deep connection, and Kimmy has a wall up, and that's the problem. I think they both would be great television together. And then Martha, my goodness, she's amazing television. She is everything. The way that she was digging through storage, looking at hats, and you can just tell that she wants to keep everything. Everything means so much to her. I relate to her so much on like a deep level where like she wants to trust people because she has a kind soul and she can't understand that somebody would want to be mean. So she wants to trust people and she wants people to be like her, but that's just not even the case. And so it looks like she's like doing this to herself because she gave money to this guy that was going to do renovations on her home and like gave him the key to her house before even getting like a review on him or what he was going to even do to the house. And she gave him money and her key. And her best friend Margot was like, dude, like if you're doing this on purpose to yourself, because she already had to leave her other house because she was being stalked. She's like, if you're doing this kind of thing on purpose, I have to take a step back in our friendship. And I feel like Margot is the best friend to have because Martha needs to hear that, even though it's so harsh. Like she's not being like Kimmy. Kimmy's being like, God, your story sucks. But Margot's being like, I'm here, but like you're hurting me because you're hurting and you need to take care of yourself instead of pushing the drama away. I really like Margot a lot. I like all of them. And even though Kimmy was being a mess, I want to give her some grace because it sounds like she had a tough childhood with her mom. And that's probably why she has a guard up and that she has a hard time hearing other people's traumas because she can't even handle her own. But Dara sucks. Sucks. How Micah walked up and she was like, gosh, I've been really like upset about that day. And Dara's like, you have? I hate her. Just a BS or she is so good at pretending like things don't matter and things aren't bothering her to try and make it not bother other people. Like the madam thing. I think she's like, if I stay calm, other people won't care. It's like, you were cornered. You're lying. And she essentially told Micah that she said those things about her because she said, I didn't say that to Missy. She just overheard. Okay. So you did say it. That's not what we're arguing about. If you told Missy or not, it's the fact that you said it and you're a horrible friend. By the way, I would love a pink walkie-talkie. Give it to me. But Dara totally thought that they were making up, that they were good. They were wearing the same outfits. She like said sorry and said like, I love you, like blah, blah, blah. Total BS. But Micah, I bet she wasn't expecting that. Micah was like, yeah, not happening. And she's done. And now Micah has the show and Dara is a madam. Allegedly. Southern Charm. So funny seeing Madison and her husband go home after the hospital. So their baby had to be in the hospital for an extra 2 weeks because she was so teeny tiny and they're early. And they were like into each other on the way home from the hospital. I mean, it was 2 weeks, but no, not ready for that. Like she was like really into him, like he's so much hotter now as a dad. And then he was saying something like, okay, let's get ready for Irish twins. Like, can you lay off each other for a few more weeks? My gosh, ew. And I made a couple posts about Southern Charm, Craig in general, but Craig talking about how he would have chosen Charlie over Paige. This is what he does. He gets dumped and then he's like, "Oh my, but I bought a ring. But I like you more than her. But we were gonna go to Europe together. We were gonna do this." Like you're getting dumped. You need to open your ears and understand that they don't want to be with you because of your behavior. And the Craig supporters this week are so quiet. Let's go to my favorite comment of the week in the middle of this. In the comments, somebody said, "The Craigie cult is awfully quiet. Finally." It needs to be studied. The way that people are so hard in my comments, like somebody said to me, because I didn't like Craig, they were like, "Are you a holic of something else?" Because I'm obviously the Bravoholic. Just because I don't like Craig, I suddenly am an addict? How does that make any sense? If you didn't like somebody out on the street, I'm not going to ask you if you're a holic of something. That's insane. I don't think he's a good person, and I think it's so clear that he is so manipulative and he's playing with these women, and he made it look like Salley was crying over him. It did look like that a little bit, but she was crying over her friend, that she did tell Charlie that she liked him. And yes, she did like Austen at the same time, and yes, Austen was in a relationship, but haven't you had 2 crushes before in your life? In high school, I think I had like 5 crushes at once. It's possible to have 2 crushes. And she liked Craig, obviously. And I know you can't call dibs, but and like Craig wasn't interested in her and he was interested in Charlie. And on some level, it's like, okay, like Charlie deserves to go out with him. But if you really are best friends, how can you do that to your best friend? There's more dudes out there. I don't know. I don't know if I trust Charlie. And all of this, like Craig yelling at Salley and Charlie not being a very good friend. Like, I was so hard on Salley in the beginning of the season. And I'm really feeling for her. Like, she is just a girl, okay? She's just a girl that is a little bit boy crazy. And I can, when I was in high school, college, I can relate to that. I understand. She just has crushes quickly. She wears her heart on her sleeve. I don't think she's a bad person. Is she a bit of a pick-me? Yeah. She loves guys. Okay. Like, I don't know. I just want to be nice to people that I think she's a bit misunderstood. And people are so mean to her. Taking Craig's side over Salley. Salley didn't even do anything to him. She was talking to Charlie only about him when it came to their friendship. And that's still what it is right now. It's about her friendship. It's not about him. She did text Charlie that she liked Craig. But that doesn't mean that she's upset about Craig. She's upset about her friend hurting her feelings. How is that not clear? I don't know. I'm getting a soft spot for Salley. But I was happy to see that Charlie held Craig accountable, because even Salley didn't at that dinner. Everyone just like falls for the BS. That empath spray that he has. But me siding with Salley and having a soft spot for Salley all of a sudden proves that I am capable of changing my mind about somebody that I strongly dislike. Like, I don't dislike her anymore. I strongly dislike Craig, and that hasn't changed. I try to see other perspectives. I try to understand where people are coming from, and I don't get it. I don't understand supporting Craig Conover. Of tea during the after show, Charlie was saying even more so that she sees him as a friend and was essentially saying it was hard to like break up with him. And Madison was sitting with Craig, and the producers brought up to Craig how he said that he would have picked Charlie over Paige. And Madison was like flipping out and said, "You're a liar." And she was cracking up and she's like, "You did not say that." And he was like, "I did." She was like, "Well, you should have just said you would marry her right now." And he's like, "Well, that's not how I feel." And he was like fidgeting with his pants. I think the only person that he fears is Madison and like Patricia. But Charlie was saying that Salley was talking to Craig for hours and Charlie wanted to talk to Craig. Like, I think she was just like wanting to dump him. And she was frustrated that Salley was talking to him and she was so confused. And Charlie kept saying that, like alluding to, her going with Craig because Salley had a crush on Austen. And I just think that Charlie's making excuses for herself and she's playing dumb. And she's playing with how, how Sally can look like she's not a girl's girl, and she's using that to look all innocent, and I don't trust that. And Vanita was super giddy about her date with Carl. Ugh. They apparently went somewhere for 5 hours, and the owner had to tell them that they were closing. And then Craig was saying that he wants to date somebody with conviction, that basically Charlie was too wishy-washy about, like, if she liked him or not, and that she was listening too much to, like, what other people were thinking about him, and he wants somebody that will ignore basically, like, us and just like him anyways. And then Vanita was saying for the reunion that she is hopeful, and, like, basically said that, like, you can move on from anything no matter how deep. And Craig was saying that he hopes that Austen finds a new love so he can feel good about himself, and that he hopes that Shep gets dementia and that he's almost there. They show on the reunion that he, like, walks off and he's not sure if he's coming back, and I don't know if he's talking about the show or the reunion, but I'm starting to wonder if he needs to take a season. Southern Hospitality, it was a really good episode. I find it to be so uncomfortable that Maddie is crying about her ex and about how much she loved him, and how her friends, like, convinced her basically to break up with him, saying that he was cheating and that he wasn't, which I kind of still think that he was. But that they were making up whatever they were making up. But it's weird that she was crying and saying, like, I loved him so much. And, like, Joe Bradley's right there, and he wants to have a life with you and wants to get a house with you and wants to get married. It's got to be really uncomfortable for Joe, and I feel like he's going to hit his limit with that. But I worry for Maddie because she was saying that all of this is making her want to drink, and she was sitting with her coach, and I like that she has a coach, and that her coach gives her some crap too. She was talking about how Maddie, like, when she's arguing, she moves her arms around, and the way that she was moving was, like, spot on. But Bradley and Maddie were making up right in front of Emmy, which was insane. And then Emmy was flipping out once they were hugging it out, like, what about me? And it's like the things that Emmy was saying about Bradley, saying that he was scaring her, was so messed up. He seems like the least scary person I've ever seen. And she doesn't understand that she's crossing a line and saying that. And also Joe thinking that it's his turn to get a restaurant from Leva, just like TJ did. I mean, entitled much? I like Joe, but entitled much? Like, she's not just, like, gonna give all of you businesses. And he was asking Leva for mutual respect. Asking for mutual respect while asking for her money to support a future business, and he was basically referring to himself as Brad Pitt of the company, and he's like, how could you replace me, when literally Brad Pitt himself is replaceable. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sutton's baggage in Germany. Wrong country, poor thing, but thank goodness she prepared and packed an adorable outfit, and, like, her hair looked so cute, and her necklace, she looked perfect, didn't look like she forgot her bag. But apparently she, like, according to the after show, she got it on the last day and she had to borrow other people's dresses. That's so sad. Maybe that's why Rachel Zoe FedExes all of her stuff. And Rachel, speaking of, had a matching outfit with Amanda Francis of all people. I mean, obviously Rachel's was, like, Versace. I don't know what Amanda's was, but who wore it better? Rachel. But you know that it bothered Rachel because she didn't say a word. I think she was pretending not to care, and she was totally annoyed. Ugh, of all people. Dorit was late again, and everyone was, like, flipping out, especially Erica. And I made a post about this if you want all of my detailed thoughts about it, but I think that Kyle is recruiting people. That's why she's being so nice to Amanda. The second that she realized that Amanda didn't like Dorit, best friends, then Sutton's offering to room with Amanda, chilling, hanging out, listening to Taylor Swift. Like, what are we talking about? And I knew that it looked suspicious with Erica and Amanda having lunch together. Like, what are we talking about? And then the phone call of Kyle and Bose. She's trying to make Dorit look crazy and get everybody on her side. And it looked like she was putting in extra work when she was on that Hamptons trip with Rachel Zoe, trying to get Rachel Zoe on her side, but that didn't work. And it's obviously not working on Kathy Hilton either, because Kathy Hilton, for the very first time, freaking snapped on somebody and told Amanda to read the friggin' room. Thank God. And Tilly, according to Watch What Happens Live and the after show, is fully Team Dorit. But it seems like the sides are Amanda, Kyle, Sutton, Erica, then Dorit, Bose, Rachel, Tilly, Kathy. I'm going to take that one. I'm going to take the second group. I don't know if I missed anybody, but... And then they had like that secret theater moment with the opera. Hold on, my dog is snoring. We had that secret theater moment, and my brain immediately went to like the Sisters of the Salt, the Sisters of the Hills. Like, are we about to see? Like, that would have been so good for this group. What I would have done. But instead, there was an opera singer, and it was giving me Timothée Chalamet vibes, because Bose was, if you didn't hear, Timothée Chalamet was complaining about ballet and opera and saying like that those aren't like arts that he's interested in. Essentially, he's getting a lot of heat for it right now, but Bose was saying if you're not interested in that, you're not cultured. And then Amanda apparently the whole time was on her phone, according to the after show. And Bose was like, Amanda's like pretending to be a certain way. You would think that she would at least pretend to enjoy this beautiful music. And Tilly was crying because her mom was an opera singer. And obviously Sutton is very connected to ballet, even though she wasn't really enjoying the opera singing. But I think that a lot of Kyle's mean girl side was coming out this episode. Like, what's it like rooming with your buddy, when she like pretends to be friends with Amanda? And then Sutton, Amanda, and Kyle sitting down together during like Kyle's run. And Kyle like feeding her ammo and basically wanting Amanda to be more pissed off at Dorit and say like, why are you judging me? Like, it just is weird. It's giving mean girl. It's giving puppet master, and she's creating Erica and Sutton into her puppets, and it's like not working on Amanda. Because then in the after show, Amanda said that she tried to make connections and she still didn't. And she's like sitting on her own during the after show. And in the early days of the after show filming, it was Kyle and Amanda sitting together. And I think it's very clear that they're like not friends now. But Amanda's voice is really getting to me. Her voice is really getting to me. I'll just take a splash of wine. I'll just take a splash. I just was trying to give you my therapeutic advice when it comes to divorce and children. Oh my God. And then when Amanda wasn't listening to Kyle's like advice about the ammo she was giving her, and Kyle stood up when she was being an absolute biatch, she stood up. And I'm not Team Amanda, but I wasn't loving Kyle in this moment. She stood up and there's a leaf on her butt. And it was just like pure gold. But the friend of, that's Rachel's friend, I don't even know her name. I'm trying to think. I don't know why I thought it was Rachel. I don't know. But she's finally kind of speaking up a little bit more, especially on the after show. I feel like she needs to get in the mix a little bit more. And it makes me wonder if she is in the mix, but they aren't showing it. But the friend, whatever her name is, was apparently impressed by Dorit because when they were in town, Dorit told people to F off in Italian. And the producers were asking the friend of, they were like, oh, do you speak Italian? And she's like, no, I just speak F you in a lot of different languages. I loved it. Okay, time for the birthday boys segment. Ask Torre the Bravoholic.
Ask Torre the Bravoholic.
Oh, I'm so happy for you and your segment. Hello.
Good afternoon.
What day is it today?
March 13th, Friday the 13th.
The 6th anniversary of COVID-19.
Kinda, yeah.
And Tori's birthday.
Couldn't think of anything else I'd rather do than do your podcast on my birthday.
I think you do want to do it.
Hopefully I have some thoughts today. It's tough to articulate my feelings towards these episodes sometimes.
How do you feel that your birthday's on the anniversary of COVID? Like everybody thinks of March 13th as like COVID day.
Do they though?
Yeah, all over Soch.
Well, I'm sorry we all had to go through that 6 years ago, but it's a new day. It's a new Friday the 13th, and I am getting old.
No, you're not. You're just 37.
Come on, why'd you tell people?
That's not that old. It's really not. By the way, at Orange Theory this morning, my heart rate and my calories were 137 at the same time.
Unbelievable.
I
What a
believe in that.
coincidence.
Like, I Googled what that meant.
Yeah.
It means I'm on the right path.
Mercury's in retrograde.
I know. So this morning I forced you to watch some Summer House because you were at a business meal.
I missed out on a fantastic episode, but believe me, I watch your recaps and I think I've been caught up.
But so my first question is, do you agree with me that West Wilson, when he's drunk, walks like our 1-year-old?
He does have a drunk baby walk, especially like with his shirt off. He kind of walks around like he's
belly
wearing a
first
diaper, belly first, and kind of like,
and he like kind of waves his arms a little bit. Like he looks like Boone when he's drinking.
He looks like a lot of babies, but I kind of respect the walk. It's kind of a cool drunk walk.
I'm not hating on it. It's just something that I noticed. What do you think about, did you pay attention to this part? That what does he do when he likes somebody?
Sits on their chest, face,
their stomach, like area. He sits on them.
Yeah.
So what do you think about that?
Is that what some would call cuteness aggression?
Oh my gosh. What do you think about him being all about Ciara right now? Because you didn't really see the ending with his talk with Ben, but you probably saw my post. But he's all about Ciara now and saying that he misses her and it was magical. What do you think about this timing because of Jesse?
I think Wes is having a little, he realized what he had in the bag and lost it. And now he is, well, I don't know if Jesse really pushed him to go a little further because he felt threatened, but maybe he did. Although I don't really think maybe he is threatening Jesse. I don't know.
Do you think that he only wants Ciara because Jesse wants her, or do you think it's making him realize?
No, he wants Ciara. I think he deep down is in love with her. But
oh my gosh.
But would he be this in love if there wasn't other men staring at his love interest in the house all summer long, you know?
Want to know something that makes me want them together even more?
Not really, but let's hear it.
My therapist wants them back together.
Wow, that's big news coming from you and your therapist.
I know. I trust her very, very much.
You sure do.
Okay, staying with Summer House, what do you think about the Bailey and Ben moment?
Extremely immature, like little teenage moment from our girl Bailey.
Yeah.
There's no one can argue that. If you say that wasn't overboard, it's insane. She totally had a freak out. And then she's talking about a married couple. It's really odd behavior. She
was saying that if one of the guys said it, and other people are saying that if Paige said that people wouldn't have reacted like that. But guess what? I don't think Paige would have said that.
No, it's an insane comment. It's a very jealous Bailey. I think I'm starting to figure out why you don't have boyfriends. I think I'm starting to figure that out.
Unfortunately,
little cuckoo clock up there.
I like her, but I think she has some things to figure out.
I think we are both fans of the two new girls. We kind of like their dynamic.
I agree.
But some realness is coming out when they're not playing all funny girl talk, you know.
Hiding in the bushes.
She's desperate for a man. And I don't know why she thinks Ben wants Amanda. I mean, maybe
there's a vibe there. There's a vibe
it's
there.
It's not going to happen. It's not happening.
I mean, like, I just
think will not be his missus.
No. His mate's missus?
That will not be his mate's missus.
I think that she is taking out her frustration with men out on Ben.
Yes.
And she's highly jealous that he probably does have a thing for Amanda.
Yeah, she probably had a boyfriend in the past that maybe liked or flirted with her friends. And boy, did she have some PTSD, because that came out quick. When someone snaps that quick, it's kind of like when we were watching Love is Blind reunion, the absolute freak out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
that's
that lady.
Real anger.
Oh, yeah.
That lady has kind of a different.
I feel for her.
Yeah.
I feel for that lady. But okay, still in Summer House land. Well, do you like Ben on the show? Do you like Ben?
Yeah, I like Ben. I like my party boys more though. I like the Jesse West party boys. I
Okay.
like even the skateboarder
KJ.
KJ. He's a little too emotional for me. I think he's kind of a nerd, but he does like to party.
Well, did you hear the part where he's hooking up with Dara?
I did not know they were at that point.
And he bought Yankee tickets and like they're like obsessed with each other on the show right now. Okay, back to more Summer House. Thoughts on Kyle not giving money to Soft Bar and then giving the reason as to why, and in the same hour gives Amanda a Cartier watch.
Well, that's a lot being thrown at me, but you do get his point. He did put $500,000. I don't know how much money this guy has. He seems like he's in a lot of debt, so he probably doesn't have too much money to his name. But paying $500,000 to save his own company, I mean, I would probably get tight in my pocketbook too. Yeah, he spent money on his wife. He's trying to save his marriage.
Well, of course, I'm Team Amanda getting the watch.
Maybe Kyle's, he's in the alcohol business, and maybe he's not willing to spend an extra $15K investing in Carl's soft bar. But I would freak out too if I just gave $500,000 away. He probably, I know he was like, "Oh, I could write a $15,000 check right now," but can you?
But can you more?
Can you really afford that, or are you just like, I guess you could go do an ad on Instagram and pay for $15,000, but
I mean, don't you think that he should probably have like a deeper conversation with Carl, than just maybe making excuses?
I've been waiting to see what that big fight is about later in the season. Maybe
that's what it is.
Maybe they duke it out over a little of investment talk. They definitely had a talk. I told you, Carl's waiting to explode. He's been keeping it inside. I told you. Keeps things inside.
But
and
he
maybe
runs.
The Carl thing or the what's his name Kyle thing is really eating at him, and he erupts. And
people, when you work out, you get endorphins, and people with endorphins don't fight people, as Elle Woods would say. Endorphins make you happy. I've seen seen
plenty of videos on the internet of big meatheads brawling at the gym.
That's called roids.
I think it's called high testosterone. And guys can definitely fight after working out.
So you think that Elle Woods is wrong?
Elle Woods needs to stick to law school.
I object. Okay,
you actually just made what a judge would say.
That's what Elle Woods says.
Okay, I thought you were just being.
That's what Elle Woods says, but I am being clever. Kyle on Watch What Happens Live, I feel like you were really into that.
Yeah, because
you were loving that episode.
Him and Craig on live TV, they're just so dumb. I don't know what, there is something about people that think they can get away with anything. It's really crazy.
It's scary, but the part, what's bothering you the most?
What do you mean?
With Kyle getting what you think he's getting away with, or trying to?
What, cheating?
Yeah, is that what you're upset about the most with Kyle?
I think the guy is completely in la la land with most of his life. He definitely
proof out there.
He definitely cheated.
Yeah.
And the blackout drinking excuse is obviously not an excuse.
But he said he only takes pictures with friends. That's a lie.
You're sleeping over in people's houses all night.
Oh my God. And he has no idea.
I don't really remember. I was just like, I'm not really mad at the guy. I'm not mad. I don't care. But it's insane that they think that we can't see right through them.
And he probably doesn't know what these photos are showing. And so he's not going to throw himself under the bus when Amanda probably has absolute proof.
And the other part of it is when Craig has his assistant watching all the TV shows for him.
Yeah.
I bet, does Kyle watch his behavior?
That's a great point.
Does Kyle's assistant or Craig's assistant see all the, I'm saying, does Kyle have an assistant that's, does he not see the internet stuff, the pictures?
Oh, I think he sees it all because he can't even afford, whatever. What do you see? It's from the Leprechaun.
Yeah, way to sit on it.
I had another question. Oh, you were pissed about the question when he was Andy asked him about why didn't you stop partying? Would you try harder? Blah, blah, blah. And then he like spun it about the apartment.
Yeah, instantly. It was like, yeah, I didn't think cheating and partying would be such a problem, but also don't live with your roommate before you. So you just threw it all on Amanda.
He threw it all on Amanda. And then I feel bad because she's in Marie Claire sticking up for him, saying everyone be nice to him. And it's like, she's being too nice, I think.
And look, am I the most perfect male on earth? Like, I'm looking at these videos. What
go on with?
I'm not saying I'm some perfect human, like I'm judging these.
You're
people
not like
based
Craig
on,
or Kyle.
No, I'm just saying, like, if I was in their shoes online or on live TV, I would just be like, I totally effed up.
Yeah.
And like, why are they not just saying I effed up? And so they can
double down.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's scary because they're liars. Oh yeah, and you were mad that I didn't put in my post that Kyle said he doesn't watch Southern Charm, and what was he saying about Craig's personality?
Oh yeah. How'd you not cover this?
Because
I think Andy asked a question like, do you think Craig is like unhinged?
He
something
said
along,
no comment.
And he said, no comment, LOL. Like he like smirked.
Yeah.
So I want to see Craig and Kyle in a celebrity boxing match.
Okay, that would be amazing, actually.
I want it to happen in Patricia's front yard or on a rooftop in New York City.
Let's leave the yard alone because that's like her dog burial ground.
That just adds
sacred. Okay,
that adds another layer to the whole.
That's where Chauncey is. We can't do that. Okay, sticking with Craig. Thoughts on Charlie and Craig this episode?
I hope Charlie really sticks to her, kind of dumping Craig to the side.
Well, apparently she's in a relationship now, word on the street.
It was nice to see Craig be put in his place because Craig is desperate. He's not desperate, but kind of desperate. And he thinks that he is on top of the world. He thinks he can do anything, get anything. And man, do I love seeing that guy get denied.
It's pretty great. Do you believe that he would pick her over Paige?
No, complete manipulation.
Isn't that just saying that, oh, I got you a ring. It's in my back pocket right now.
Yeah, it's insane.
We were supposed to travel together. I think he said that about both of them. We had big plans.
You're supposed to go to France with my family, Charlie.
I swear he said
What's
that.
Your name?
Charlie. I swear he said that about Paige too. Like, we just planned a whole Europe trip. Okay, like, who cares?
Yeah, he throwing one more life raft out there. It really is scary. Like anyone, again, if you're a girl that is like seeing his behavior and you're cool with it, you guys must be stuck in some weird situations.
It scares me.
It is odd. You can't blame that what he's saying to these people, like what he's saying there to like everyone ripping on him. Like that's what he does. If
I think about it too much, I really worry for those women. And I have to remind myself that like they're kind of being rude to me. But like I worry for these women that think that behavior is okay and acceptable just because he has a couple dimples. I
kind of wonder if they've watched him through like from start to finish. Like did they just tune in to Craig like a year ago?
It's very possible.
Like,
but it's a lot of Team Craig. No matter what.
I feel like they like tuned in when Craig and Paige were together and they were like, Craig was pretty like just sitting at home being a nice guy.
That's the only time I ever liked him. Ever. Okay, so then Craig tells Salley that Charlie and him were serious and Salley flips out and cries and then she like has a moment with Austen. Like, do you think that she was crying over Craig or crying over her friendship with Charlie?
I don't know what she's doing. Probably the Charlie thing. I don't think she obviously thinks she can get any guy she wants to. And she's probably embarrassed that her friend, beat her out on this one. I don't think she really likes Craig.
So you agree with Leva? Because that's what Leva said.
Me and Leva
are on the same level.
That was good.
Do you think that Salley and Austen are meant to be?
I can probably get on board with that.
My God, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is that I think all of a sudden. I used to think that they were like gross, like absolutely not. And now I'm like, you guys are like a good weird match. Like I can see them having kids.
Yeah, I think they work. I was not on board for a while. I mean, you hated Salley.
I hated her.
Best friends with her.
Well, no, we're not best friends. We comment here and there. that's about it. But I feel like when Craig started to go for her, I was like, nope, like team girl. And then I really just was giving her grace. And I can see like that she just needs to grow up a little bit.
I think you're right. I think she just needs to maybe a little more of the maturation process has to take place. And then
she's definitely pick me.
I mean,
for sure.
She's got a good job, medical device sales. She's attractive-ish. I personally.
You can see that she's an attractive person.
Yes, I've told you that I don't think I would.
Well, I'm happy to hear.
But I think her and Austen.
Just like I think Craig's attractive and I wouldn't.
Okay. I thought you like what? Okay.
I think he's an attractive guy, but he's a demon on the inside.
Yeah.
Demon.
I think we're kind of talking a little different. Like,
okay.
I wouldn't.
Okay. Well, anyways. Okay. Women and men see things differently.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Anyways, moving on. Do you have anything to say about Southern hospitality this week? Remember when Joe Bradley said that you can't replace Brad Pitt?
Yes, that was like insane. Like, yeah, if an actor doesn't show up to set, you can't replace him. Hey, Joe Bradley, you can 100% replace anybody.
Like and literally Bradley, Chris Hemsworth.
Leva can replace you at the restaurant very quickly, I'm sure.
I mean, he needs a reality check on that one. He does. Because it's not like he has like some serious position. Like you're just like the guy that like brings people in, you know?
I mean, look, I'm sure he's a nice guy.
I like him. He's very nice.
Being mean to him.
No, I've met him twice. He's very nice.
You got to live life a little bit. Once you get into the corporate world or have real jobs, everybody, if you die tomorrow, your job will be up for application the next second. So the world moves on. Life goes on. You are replaceable. Would you like to continue with your Chris Hemsworth conversation?
I was just saying that Chris Hemsworth would replace Brad Pitt very easily in a movie.
I mean, there's plenty of attractive, good actors out there. So anyways, that kind of beat that horse to death a couple times. But
did you know that Joe Bradley said the same thing to me both times I met him?
What, the Michigan?
Yeah, he went to U of M, and I said, well, I went to Michigan State. And then both times he said, well, the girls at Michigan State are way hotter. He said it both times.
And then when I saw him, he saw my Lion shirt and said, hey, Michigan?
Yeah, he's
like, obviously, because I went to Michigan.
Cool. He has a tie to Michigan. Ladies of London, you haven't seen a second of it, but
because you get early access to the episodes, and I'm not allowed to watch them.
Okay, but you would love this show?
Yeah, I can't watch them.
Okay, well, one day, but you saw them on Watch What Happens Live, and you're like, who are these people? Tell me your vibe of them, and what do you think Andy thought of them?
The one in the middle is a cartoon character.
Kimmy.
She is like a character in a movie.
I love her.
She's
wacko.
I don't the girl on the left, I don't know. She's
like royalty.
She seemed very nice. And I'm assuming the male, he seemed like a
fabulous gentleman.
Yeah, a Bravo TV character. He's that I pay attention to. So he is a housewife.
He is one of the ladies of London.
What are we calling them?
The ladies of London.
Okay.
The ladies.
We just even it. Okay.
The ladies of London and Mark
of London.
Of London.
Good. Yeah, there's a lot of chemistry, a lot of goofiness. You're telling me, I don't know if you said there's, I read it, that it could be the next Salt Lake City, but
no, it's like as good as that, like the same vibe that I'm getting right from the beginning, and I'm hoping we get the same vibe from Rhode Island.
Maybe they should throw Meghan Markle in there.
Well, they've already mentioned her name.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What about Prince Harry?
Well, they live in LA now. So throw her into Orange County.
They're beefing with
Beverly Hills.
They're beefing with the king or the
royal
family. Yeah. What about David? Oh, we already talked about David Beckham and Victoria Beckham being on there.
Yeah, we have.
And their status is.
But I would love for her to be on Ladies of London. I don't know that the status is higher. I don't know that.
Posh spice.
Okay, what's more important in Britain? In London, royalty or celebrity?
David Beckham and
So they're the
Victoria.
real king and queen of London.
I mean, we can go to follower accounts online. I bet we could figure it out pretty quick.
Okay, but there's like I don't know, all the Duchess, whatever. Anyways.
Duchess, okay.
I don't know what their princess, Duchess, whatever. Okay. Any other thoughts this week? Birthday boy?
I don't know.
Where are we going to dinner tonight?
No clue.
And I got you that hat and that shirt that you're wearing.
Yep, and Ed Sheeran concert tickets.
I sure
that
did.
You told our son today that he wasn't going to, and he cried.
Okay, he knows Ed Sheeran. I said, I got Dad Ed Sheeran tickets, and I didn't think that he was going to lose his mind.
I did
that
know
he wasn't going to go. He's 3. I didn't think that he would care.
Loves Ed Sheeran.
I know that. But anyways, we're learning every day. All right. Are you excited for your cookie cake later?
Yeah. We only have 40 minutes left with the babysitter, so let's get this podcast rolling.
All right, say goodbye.
Goodbye. Hopefully my brain worked a little better this week, and Lindsay will post a clip of me on social media that doesn't make me look like a complete moron.
I don't okay, so you're blaming editing. Okay, Craig.
I'm not blaming editing.
Okay, Craig.
I'm not blaming editing. You chose to post the worst clip of me not knowing what I'm talking about, and all these people in comments, what the F is this guy talking? Yeah.
Okay, Craig.
I asked the Bravoholic where the guy doesn't know anything. That's the point of this.
Okay, who cares? Get used to the backlash.
Now this better be a clip that you post.
Okay, I will. Cheers, birthday boy.
What do people in London say?
Cheerio.
Cheerio. Carry on.
I don't know.
Carry on.
Okay, tiddly doots. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys could hear the wind outside, I am so sorry. If you guys have any questions for me or Torre, feel free to DM either of my accounts, either Lindsay Says Pod or the Bravoholic. Thank you so much, guys. Okay, I think I've said enough. If you liked what you heard, please rate, review, subscribe, follow, all the things. And that's what Lindsay says.